What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is TishaTheBrave. Hope you guys are doing well, hope you guys are doing okay. Before we get into this video, I know there's at least one or two of you who haven't pressed that subscribe button, so subscribe to me and join the Bravers, which is the family name for my subscribers, okay? I just want to say one more thing before we start. I have a podcast. Me and my friend D have a podcast. Please check it out. It is on YouTube. It is Sisterly Synergy on YouTube. Last week's episode we were talking all things hair, our natural hair care journey, and what we had to endure during those times of trial and error. And in general, we talk about all of our spiritual experiences and how this changed us to be the people who we are today. So please check that out for some black girl magic. Okay, let's get into the video. We are talking about life path 4. I nicknamed the life path 4 the teacher slash organizer. So let's go into the main qualities. You guys tend to take your time with a lot of the things that you're doing. You're not people who tend to rush, because in the past you guys have skipped steps a lot and you realize that it doesn't really, like, the things that you want to do don't really work out in that way. You're very logical, you're very detailed, slow people, and that's okay. You guys are people who can look at disorganization and mess and create systems for everything. So if I was to bring you into a really messy room, you could look at this as a way of solving issues. So you could be like, okay, we're gonna have one bag for the trash, we're gonna have one bag to put all the toys in, you're gonna have one bag for blah 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 blah, and you're gonna be able to sort things through. Versus some other people may look at this and think, I'm having a meltdown, I have a lot of anxiety. Like with you guys, it's like, no, everything is fixable. Okay, you are often teaching people things. So a lot of people may come to you to solve problems. Now, not necessarily always like problems where it's like where they need like therapy, almost like, you know, I have a problem with my boyfriend, he's doing blah blah blah. Not necessarily always that, but also like, I have a few too many things here. What do you think I could do to kind of like sort out this space? Or maybe you don't know the problem to a maybe you don't know the answer to this question. You know, there are so many other layers to this, but mainly they come to you for logical reasoning. So maybe even if you are having an emotional problem, they're asking you to see the logic in something. So like, what can I logically do to make this situation better? That's what they're coming to you for. Okay, you soak up information extremely well. You're very good at like being in a lecture and taking down the things that matter, right? Or you may be able to just watch a video and then be able to take in the really good points, you know? You may be interested in very complicated things that may take a lot of talent and time to work through. For example, like playing an instrument. And you may have goals regarding those things. Or like the Rubik's Cube, you know, where you have to solve it. And you know, not everybody can do those things. But you know, you would want to solve it. You would want to know how. You're very interested in algorithms, for example. You are a very hard worker. Life path 4s are just people who want to take the time to do something. So you know how some people work smarter, not harder? I feel like the life path 4 is like, no, I'm willing to take the time to use my blood, sweat and tears, versus other people will be like, here's a shortcut, here's a shortcut, here's another shortcut. And for you, shortcuts do not work. And that's kind of like part of the essence of who you are and part of the reason why you're so important to the rest of the world. But I'll get into that a little bit later, because now I'm here to talk about your challenges. Your challenges. I've said it in like 3 different ways. You're often people who have to help with a lot of family disputes. So like within your own family, a lot of life path 4s tend to have issues within their family, and you're probably going to be the one who has to help everybody see the logic in the situation when everybody is so emotional. You know, when you see people shouting, they'll be like, okay guys, stop right here. You're shouting over each other, you're shouting over each other. What's the best thing that you can do here? Maybe take it down a tone so we can actually hear what you're actually saying instead of being clouded by all this noise. You're that person. You could potentially be the mediator here. And this makes sense to me because 2 is kind of the mediator, and 2 and 2 is what? 4. So it's like the elevation of the 2 a little bit here. If you're watching this and you're an adult, a lot of times in your childhood you may have had some really deep trauma. Whether that is an absent parent, it could be abuse. And I say this because the 4 is the organizer, and the reason that 4s could be potentially the organizer is because the one thing they can't control in their life is their past. A lot people who are structured, organized people generally, even outside of a 4, are people who want control somewhere. So one of the other challenges you may have is that you could be stubborn and you may not listen well to other people because you have a set way of doing things, but you are not the only person alive. You're not the only person in the room. You have to learn to listen and understand other people and stop putting your decisions in, stop making your decisions be the final decisions. You have to learn how to be a human in the human race. You're not the only person here, okay? So you need to stop being so stubborn. The other thing is you might feel really responsible for other people when you don't have to feel really responsible for other people. The only things you have to be responsible for are yourselves and your little children and not your adult children, okay? So once they've flown the nest, leave them alone, okay? You know, you can guide them, but with respect, give them space too. A lot of 4s feel responsible for other people because they feel like they're the only people who could do the job. Now, with that being said, shut your ego down. You don't know all the answers. A lot of life path 4s feel like they are the only people on this planet who can solve issues. That's not true, people. That is not true, okay? People come to you, yes, but you're not the only person who can solve an issue. Let adults be adults. Your role in life is to actually give order and structure and logical advice to other people. You guys are very much needed in society because a lot of us run on emotion and sometimes we need the logic to kind of like balance it out a little bit, okay? And so that's what you're here to do. You're here to help others through your logic and through the way you structure and organize things, okay? Now, due to your logical nature, sometimes it could be hard to kind of like figure out life without logic, without structure. And there are times in life that we cannot plan, that we do not have a plan B for. And in those moments, you're going to need to work on your intuition, and you're going to need to work on having guidance from divine source. So what does that tell me? You guys need to work on the third eye chakra, and you guys need to work on the crown chakra also. So therefore, in saying that, I would advise you guys to meditate to those types of sounds. So there's loads of frequencies and sounds that you can get for the third eye, for the third eye and for the crown chakra online. And of course, like I do in every video, I will give you a link down below to some of those frequencies. Meditate to those always, because when you do, you're gonna allow source to kind of like guide you through your life instead of you trying to take over, because at the end of the day, honey, you do not know nothing. You think you do, but the world is large and everything around it has its own way of happening, and you're not going to be prepared for every single thing that happens. So you need to let go of control. Let go of control, okay? The last thing I want to say is tidy your spaces for peace of mind. If you are life path 4 and your room or your kitchen or whatever, if your space is not in the way that you want it to be, then you're not going to function well. Because like I said, you're very good at controlling elements of your life, which is great, but if you do not have that in your space, then that's telling me that your mind is cluttered, that you're going through something. But that will actually help tremendously. Make sure there's plenty of air also. Minimalism will probably be one of the best things that you could do for yourself as well. So if you have a lot of stuff, get rid, because I think also what you guys tend to do is hold on to things that you believe matter, because in your mind there's a logical reason why I have this, but there is no logical reason why you have this. It's more sentimental. Let it go. If you let it go, you'll have more functionality. You'll have a lot more functionality, and take advantage while it's Virgo season. Take advantage. It's a good time for you to be structured and organized, and also take away some of the things that you can tell are more sentimental than they are logical and taking up space. Let's talk about a famous life path 4, Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci wore many hats. He was a sculptor, a painter, a mathematician, you name it, he did it. But that is exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the intricacy of who he is. A life path 4 is somebody who can do it all, because they are very much interested in many and multiple different things and pay attention to what? The detail, okay? So we have reached the end of the video. If you guys are life path 4, comment down below, and also share it with people that you know are life path 4s. If you are into numerology, you guys already know. My name is TishaTheBrave. I do a lot of videos on spiritual integration, all things spiritual. I integrate those and I talk about it. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.